And the guy who drove that truck to the cop car and the car pulled over, he looked at me like he was curious, like maybe I could have been the driver. He gave me a hard look as he drove by me. This isn't something I can easily confirm. Maybe I could try, but the cop just drove by again. So it took maybe 5 minutes, maybe to go to the tow yard, and then the cop taking the guy back to his truck. I could maybe see from a distance if the cop is parked over. Yep, there he is. He's parked. I don't think I can really zoom in on that so easily. There's the cop car next to the truck. So that's a tow. That's a tow by having the tow truck driver drive the car. Perfectly fine working car. And the cop just kicks the guy out of his own car. Alright, picking this grass around here. And I'm gonna have to accept some of these bugs, I think. I hope they're not toxic. I think I'm just gonna stick with them. There's I threw a couple out. There's some full undersides just covered, completely covered on the underside. Oh, there's a dandelion leaf. Wow, I didn't really look too closely, I guess. Plantain. But I was picking as fast as I can. Oh my god, though, there's such an infestation. They seem like they're kind of harmless, but I'll find out the hard way. We got a stream gauging station. Okay. All right, I am not standing there. That feels like it's gonna fall right over. Yup. It fell down more. Okay, I'm safe here at least. See, this isn't really used much. Or I wanted to go to the end, and I'm not gonna do that, but I may comment that these boats look like they have a difficult time getting through here. It's all like this. These boats gotta cut through all the weeds. Oh my god, that thing is unstable. But I mean, it's not really used anymore. They got these rocks in the way. Oh man. So this is one of the more backwoods docks that I've ever seen. Every boat's got its own dock. I'm guessing that's a muskrat. Alright, the trains are very active through here. This train station has nothing to do with the train activity. I just wanted to comment on this office. You can see through the window a little bit that they got their screen on. Why would you leave your screen on? Can't quite read the documents. This is a pretty neat sign. It's all the individual lights, like their bathroom lights. And it's for the city office. Libraries across the street. This library looks really nice, but I don't think I'm gonna wait around tomorrow. We'll see. Alright, I think this is the Wayside Rest, but there doesn't appear to be a clear parking lot. Maybe down there. definitely no bathroom, but then you got Lake of the Woods Foods, which, oh my god, I wouldn't. I read the sign and I'm like, Lake of the Woods Foods, okay. It just takes a little bit to process that it's likely a grocery store. The Caribou Coffee gives it away a little bit. It looks like a historical sign down there. Might be worth reading. Anyone who doesn't believe in God hasn't been to Lake of the Woods County. Alright, that's your opinion. Oh my god, they're talking about luxurious fox coats that developed from being fed burbot's eel pout, which is 8 times as rich in vitamin A and D as cod liver oil. So they're finding, yeah, I mean, it's possible that you can find the nutrients stronger in some sources than others. But I mean, for me, it's a give and take. You're giving up one to gain another. So why is it? If it's going to be so rich, it's going to be less rich in vitamin A. It's going to be less rich in vitamin something. So if they're going to sell this area on health qualities, it's going to sound very similar to the mineral springs cities like Excelsior, Missouri, and the other health springs city. They're sold on health, and desperate people are really willing to spend on that. Alright, it looks like they encourage swimming. You can't see, it's so dark. It's like it doesn't look dirty, it's just very dark. How is that possible? They encourage swimming though, look at that. If you fall in, you can climb right out. It's not a beach. I think it's just a very deep water. Right, this is a nice spot because the road, as you can see, is under construction, so there's not really so much thoroughfare, and it brings a nice opportunity for me to boil some grass next to this funeral home. It's not a thoroughfare now, although some people have gone through. I'm sure it's a lot slower than it has been. Got some pigweed seed in there. And I also want to make sure it's toast. Did I drop? Yeah, I want to toast too. Grass tea, milk, toast, and raisins. It's a pretty good combination. Alright, I don't think that cinnamon and grass tea go well together. They do not taste good together. Alright, I might be looking at Canada across the river. I have to confirm that. Why are they saying this dock is for loading and unloading? But then they go into talking about fishing. Maybe they just don't want people fishing off the dock. Is Canada on the other side? I'm not sure. I gotta look down further. Alright, see, like this bridge goes into Canada. Alright, a little special bridge there. It's kind of like the Rio Grande, I guess, but for Minnesota. So Canada would be on the other side, but I don't know if this is Canada, because there's a bridge over there, but that's not going across an international border. This bridge is definitely going across an international border. Okay, so coming up on this dock, you see as you get onto land, there's a sign that welcomes you to America. So there may have been confusion in the past with using this dock and not knowing if it's America or Canada. Yeah, so I think they mowed down all this vegetation here because this tributary, this is a intersection of America. America's across this river, but across this other river, it's a fork. And they've mowed down all this vegetation here so they can watch from over here, because it's a big building. I don't know what all they do here, but they make sure to mow down this vegetation so they could see all potential crossings of the river between the countries. I don't understand this wall, why the wall's set up the way it is. It's just that's how it is. But I could walk to the bridge from here, but I don't know how far they allow you to cross, how closely they watch. This looks like a temporary construction fence. What do we got? A cemetery stone? Somebody who didn't live too long, 30s maybe. And oh, there's another one. So this is a little cemetery, 2 stones. There's probably more across the fence, through the fence. Cemetery. And then we got some history. This gate over there. I'm guessing somebody's always in that gate. Massacre Island. Interesting. So I assume this is called Peace Park like what you see on the Google Maps, but it's not named that at all. And they don't really go out of their way to protect this spot. That's like on the Mexican border, this would be fenced. I don't even see a gate guard. I'd have to walk up to look to see if one was actually in there. Huh. Yeah, I don't even see a gate guard. Alright, so a truck went past, and he didn't stop at all. He just kept driving on through. A truck, like once every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes. It's pretty slow here. Okay, so near this gate shack, I was considering actually parking here for the day. It's the rest stop, but it says they want to enforce a 6-hour limit, and it looks like new like printing, so there was a different hour previously. Alright, so from the gate shack you could take this little dirt road and just maybe if you want to check out the old train station. So I'm walking to right now. The trains are very active here, and they connect to Canada. That's the bridge that goes into Canada right there to go across the river. And this is the same one that was going by me, and is very active. So it looks like the trains might be very active in and out of Canada. Alright, this old train station appears to be a kind of museum. They got quite a bit on display. You can read about the history. I did not suspect that, but I approached from a side that doesn't, I guess they don't really need to advertise. I'll go to the front and I'll probably see that it's a museum. Alright, even on the front they don't advertise themselves as a museum, but there's displays like a museum. So something weird is going on. You know, people might get a little sensitive to brown grass around here. Get a little scared when the rains aren't coming in as much as expected. These people who get scared kind of easy probably have never been in the Southwest desert where all you see is sand and rock. brown, a little brown grass. It's no big deal. Alright, parked at the Lake of the Woods Foods to get some food. And I'm sitting here and I'm like hearing this weird noise and I'm like, what's that noise? Oh, it's the American flag making all that weird noise. Because it's nowhere around. You gotta look up to hear that. So here they're saying that you can get a penalty up to $1,000. Little added message here. I wonder what the original was. Plus this is added. If you're caught with zebra mussels, you get $1,000 fine. And I don't know why they're marking all this. Is there spots you should look for them? Look for them all over your boat. Alright, we got our reading signs here before you launch. Apparently you need, it's a new regulation they stuck on here about sturgeon. You need a particular tag. It's not just treated as any tag, or maybe they had a previous rule about sturgeon. What do you know? A trekking pole, a broken trekking pole. Because they're all garbage. They just leave it abandoned. Oh, the other piece might be this. Or maybe there's 3 pieces. Somebody really got angry at their trekking pole. And for good reason too. They are terrible. Just better off sticking with a wooden stick. Stick with the stick. In my opinion, tooth picking is more important than tooth brushing. Alright.
Come to look around?
Yep. Yep, that's it. Oh. Alright. Looks like it plays more than just a piano. It's got the cymbals and tambourine.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Trying to get it to work?
It works. There's a cam rod that's missing that plays one of the.
When you're ready to go.
Check out this tire. Tree grew around it and they just decided to leave the tree in there as part of the display to give a good idea how old it is. What's up?
Be interested in sharing a dinner?
No.
Okay.
Thanks. Okay, so my gut, I think I got salmonella poisoning. My gut's still giving me some problems, but I'm able to exercise, weightlift. I got that kind of energy. The gut infection, the salmonella infection has sapped me of energy in a weird way. I'm still able to exercise. It feels good at least. Alright, and I'm here at this wayside and I'm already in the sun. I don't know what time it is, but it's in the morning. I don't want to turn on the car. I want to get it over from here to here for a midday shade. I plan on being here for the rest of the day. So I think I'm gonna try to push it. I gotta turn the steering wheel a little bit, push it over right next to that tree. Get this just need a slight angle for the wheels to get it right in the, and it should be okay in the grass. The only warnings here are no overnight parking. There's nothing about parking in the grass. There we go. That should be good for the day. Just had to move the tires a little bit and it's good. Wow, it's like the gut ache, salmonella poisoning. It's like when I hit my gut just right in some weird way, a ton of energy just gets sapped out of me. It's really frustrating. Right, so this would be pretty ideal if I had a fishing setup just coming down this little hill. I could pick some grass oh, they got a picnic table. No overnight camping. That's about it. Looks like a nice lake. There might be good fish in it, who knows. But I don't have a fishing pole. But this would be quite the interesting setup. It looks new. This dock looks pretty new. Somebody left a rubber band, and it's a very dark lake. It's the theme for this area, jagged rocks. All right, two things surprised me here. To see so many of these type of buoys on the water's edge, so rare to see. And all this jagged rock for an area that got affected by the ice age. And it kind of looks like I could cross without using the bridge. The water's low enough. There's a park on the other side. There's a picnic table over there. Somebody's house over there. Looks like a little chipmunk blending into the tree. All right, the bridge is over here, and then it's going over the river with a lot of rock in there, and it looks quite crossable. I guess that is evidence of the glacier. It's kind of a straight line, and it looks like maybe the ice scraped across it and formed those lines. Quite an interesting appearance. Never expected to see. But I mean, there's just so many small local areas around the world in this country that are so unique from everywhere else around it. Right here I could go to the edge a little bit better. Lots of forest. Oh, that is forest. He's just put a crane on his logging trailer. Yeah, you go right to the very edge. Quite a drop down there. Yeah, there's a logging truck. Smaller logs. It feels different from Washington. They get such massive logs in Washington. You could count them, but here they're just so small, but numerous that they keep busy all day. This thing is kind of freakish. Is that a stinger? Does that sting humans? A flying scorpion? All right, so this gut sickness is giving like a numbness to my face, to my mouth. And I just realized that this numbness feels just like how fenugreek feels. And I have a lot of fenugreek. That's just kind of a comparison that's kind of similar. All right, so there's the signs that say no overnight parking, but I think I'm gonna try to just park here for overnight, close to the road. Try to like make it look like I'm not camping as much as I can, be as visible as I can. So I'm really not in a rush to get to International Falls, Minnesota. 50 or 60 miles away. I'd just as soon do that in the morning. I'm still suffering from this the diverticulitis or the salmonella poisoning or whatever it's called. It seems like the deeper inside a health problem is, the harder it is to figure out what it is. When it's in the gut region, that's pretty deep inside, and it's hard to figure out exactly what the problem is. It's not like I cut a finger or something and you can clearly see it on the finger what happened. It's inside, deep inside the gut, and all I can do is take guesses. All right, so I cut into the birch bark here and just chewed on some inner bark, and I believe it's a very crumbly type of wood. Of course, this birch naturally crumbles. It's never good. The wood of a birch is never good for a walking stick because it's such a bad tree. People say that pine trees are no good for walking sticks. Well, definitely avoid birch too. There is this birch that was felled by a beaver. So we're right near a lake. It's a darker one, so now I could take a closer look at the inner bark a little bit here. Looks fairly recent. It was felled during the springtime, or maybe the winter at least, because we got these buds here. So this is that felled tree. I just cut off a little piece, and I mean it was cut off a few months ago, but it's still kind of got a life. There's some green. It doesn't really look dead. It's moist and green. And this is the thickness of the inner bark. The wood's so easy to cut through. They don't grow very tall. But it's the inner bark that's supposed to have that aspirin-like quality. It's not a strong aspirin taste though. Definitely no sweet taste to it either. It's a springtime. It should taste sweet in the springtime, but I don't think so. Alright, so I cut this piece, chewing on it. Alright, yeah, that does actually taste like aspirin. The inner bark of the birch, but it's a northern tree, so I don't know if I want to gather birch bark for the aspirin. It's interesting. I'm not familiar with it too much, the strength and all of that, with the salicin. I'm just amazed how high of hills the beavers are willing to climb just to get up here and chew down some trees. I mean, they got this one. It's just such a random attack. This one and then this one over here got chewed up. But the beaver climbed a very steep hill to do that. Alright, I'm looking for another super long stick like this. So you got these shorter ones that go up to my chin. Well, actually no, it's a little too short. Far short of my chin actually. But this one is as high as my hands can reach. And I'm finding extra benefits with the longer stick that I can't get with the shorter ones. The shorter ones are going to be for walking around the city, just casual walking. And then the longer one, I want two of them, super long, maybe even longer than I can reach for training. They fit in the car, and I'm really finding I can start doing more pull-up exercises with the extra long stick. This one is just temporary, I think, because I really would like a bigger, thicker one that could likely handle more weight. And I want 2 of them, super long. That's the direction I'm taking, but I have to stay with the smaller ones for in the city, at least, to try to not draw too much attention to myself. Okay, I'm at Super One Foods in International Falls. And look at that, Canada has this big water tower that doesn't even put their city name. They just put a flag of the Canadian flag. They don't even, what? I've never seen an American water tower do that. Maybe there's one around here with an American flag on it. Alright, one of the side effects of chewing on the birch bark seems to be that it affects my appetite. It's got this strong medicine-y smell, this taste, and it's like the aftertaste is like, it's still in my mouth, but it's different. It's like, I like that strong medicine-y taste, but then you wait a couple hours and there's this weird taste in my mouth, and it's killed my appetite. I don't know what to think of that. I kind of don't mind it at this point, but I can't really eat at this grocery store I'm at. I really can't buy anything. I don't really have an appetite for anything. But what I'm going to do here is soak, and I should probably boil, not just soak, but soak some of the slippery elm. Try to get some of that gel in me and coat the internal processes to help alleviate the inflammation that's built up the past few days. It's a part of my appetite might be influenced by this inflammation too, though. It's not just the birch bark. So along the Canadian border, they got a PCA, Packaging Corporation of America, packaging, because I guess maybe a lot. I mean, this is a big factory. A lot of products cross that border. There's an apple tree gone to waste in that person's yard. Apples all over the yard. Still plenty in the tree. This packaging business is just major, and it's right on the border. So visitors gotta go to a security office. Huh. Alright. This is a packaging company with a serious security office. A security office for a packaging company? What is so important? This is more than just packaging. It's more than just cardboard boxes. They're doing some serious security here for more than just a little paper. There's a lot of smoke for a packaging office. There's a lot of smoke coming off. There's several of these smoke pipes, smoke stacks. They're doing more than just packaging. That's just the name of the business. They could call themselves anything, I guess. Yeah, from this vantage point, you can see four smokestacks, and they offer parking for the museum right along their building. And the museum's right here in the park. Looks like it's probably open. This is probably the historical site. International Falls. The parking is crazy around the library. You got 2-hour parking here. On other roads, there's even day parking and odd day parking. Today's what, the 13th, so I gotta look for odd day parking. But I could take the parking lot at the library, and I don't recall seeing any regulations on the parking lot for the library, so yeah, Get close to the border, even small towns have some serious parking regulations. Alright, so right when I got back to my car, I felt like I was gonna have a heart attack. My heart just started going crazy. Right here, the lower left portion, what happened? It's like a cardiac arrest or something. But it's been like a half hour now. I think I'm okay. I get the feeling that at this old Kmart in International Falls, all these seagulls were getting fed when it was in business, and now they're just carryovers. And I've seen them sit on the beach on the Pacific coast, just sitting, like looking like there's no resources around, and they could just sit for long periods of time without doing anything, maybe conserving energy. Because of my gut problems, I'm trying something a little different here. I found some grass in the forest. I boiled that up first, and then when it got to whistling good enough, then I stopped it and put in some peppermint. I'm gonna let that soak. So it's grass and peppermint in here. They can't enforce what it doesn't really exist anymore. A business, since Kmart's out of business. I moved over here to get out of the sun, but now it's pretty much all shade here, and I don't want to sleep here overnight.